as a man, I'm slowly realizing that there are certain things that I want in a friendship with other guys, which I would like to see as being a brotherhood, right? A brotherhood of guys which have the same kind of goals and aspirations and work together to accomplish them. Almost like pirates, right? On a pirate ship. Like you see like Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff, and it looks epic, right? You have a brotherhood of guys, you have a captain, and everyone mans the ship, and yo-ho, hoist the sails. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just radical. So that brotherhood, I think, is something, it's an innate desire in any man with a functioning, normal, natural testosterone level. He will want to be surrounded by brothers and he will want to have men that he can work beside, right? Doing something together. I don't think a high testosterone male will want to sit down, for example, and just chat, right? Maybe a quick catch up if you haven't seen each other for a while, but I think most men with a functioning testosterone level actually just want to be doing something with other guys, right? So I've realized that I certainly need to disregard the mentality that I had when I was a child that your friendship should make you feel good. It should be humorous, right? You should be around your friends laughing and having fun and enjoying each other's company and spending time just having sleepovers and chatting and, disregard all of that, because the reality is in a men's group where you have a brotherhood and you have men with high testosterone levels or like functioning testosterone levels, you're going to have competition constantly, which is good. It's healthy. That's what makes the brotherhood strong. So that competition is important, but that also means that whoever's leading the brotherhood can fall away from leadership. It's like when you see a pack of wolves, right? Or a pack of lions. The dominant lion male will get the most female attention, right? The most access to females. But as soon as he's challenged by another male lion and the other lion wins, that leadership changes and now the other lion becomes the top of the hierarchy. I think it's the same in a brotherhood. It's a bit more subtle and it's kind of hidden nowadays. People don't really talk about brotherhoods and male hierarchies and things. It's all just pushed aside and disregarded, but it's real and it's great. And that's what I want. And I'm slowly realizing that it's something that I really want. And I need to prioritize it even more than I have been. And the best way, I think, to go about this, to find that brotherhood, is firstly to disregard that old mentality I just mentioned, the childhood mentality of what friendship is. And you need to look at male friendship as being a constant hierarchy, which is changing, and you'll constantly be challenged. Whoever's leading the group, at least, there'll be constant challenge, constant competition, which is all good and all healthy. But that means that you need to find a way to provide value to other males so that you are respected enough to have the brotherhood follow your leadership, essentially, right? Because if you're like me, you probably want a brotherhood, but you don't want to just be at the... Well, actually, that's not true. Like, I wouldn't mind being somewhere lower in the hierarchy of a brotherhood if the brotherhood's chasing the right goals. But the problem that I'm finding is I can't find motivated men who are chasing the same goals and aspirations, which means that I have to form the group. I have to form the direction. And if you want to do that and be a trailblazer like what I want to basically be at the moment, then you have to put into action a plan or a procedural way of generating respect and commanding respect out of your peers, out of your fellow males, because you want to lead essentially without even having started a group yet. And if you want to lead, you need to command respect. So you need to find a way to provide value to other males enough for them to respect your leadership, which means that you may have some friends like I do, but I used to always, meet up with friends, chat, maybe do some things, go do some hikes and camping and stuff like that, fishing, right? But it was always a way to have fun and chill out and enjoy my time with them, right? And I'm not saying that's a wrong thing, but that's not what I consider a brotherhood. A brotherhood is you have a same goal you're all working together to achieve. You're not just there to have fun and mess around. Not like when you were kids and you would all just make fun of each other and, you'd have this back and forth, a little bit of competition, testing each other's masculinity, that kind of thing. It's fun and it's hilarious, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a motivated, disciplined band of brothers that are trying to achieve something or trying to work together. Even if the goals change and you keep creating new goals, you want to start a business and you want to create a new plan that will allow you guys to get the best physiques in your state or whatever, Like, I'm just making random examples, but whatever it is, like, this can constantly change. But if you're like me and you're having trouble finding a hierarchy, or not even a hierarchy, a brotherhood which you want to join, which is chasing the goals, and you will be inclined to go and create your own, right? Now, in doing that, like I said, you have to find a way to provide value and command respect so that people will listen to you, so that people will respect your leadership and allow you to take the reins of the brotherhood, which also means that you can choose basically who's in and out of the brotherhood if you're truly at the top of the hierarchy, which is great, but difficult in a way. So if you want a strong brotherhood, like, it's easy to command respect out of a bunch of weak men if you're a relatively strong guy. But do you necessarily want a brotherhood with those kind of people? And I honestly think, as a Christian, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think people can change significantly. Obviously, you don't want to be weak forever. You don't want to adopt their mindset, but people can change. You can, if you have to start there, I don't think that's a massive issue, because if they truly respect you and respect your leadership, then they will adopt your mindset and principles, hopefully, and that will allow them to build themselves into a competition, basically, right? Into male competition, so that you have somebody you're competing against in the group. They're going to have to pull their own weight. Otherwise, if they respect your leadership, they're going to listen to you. They're going to want to pull their own weight. They're going to want to be better because they want to be like you. They want to follow your leadership. So that's one. Two, they're benefiting from the value you're providing, which means they don't want to leave the group. And that's always a risk, right? If they don't pull their weight, then you can just exile them, or not exile them, but just get rid of them from the group. So, yeah, I think you got to find a way to command respect, and I think that's the biggest hurdle for me I can see is disregarding the old mentality, because that would mean that when I try to find people for this brotherhood, and even if I tried to recruit my actual friends now into this sort of brotherhood, then that would mean that I would have to basically change the way that I am going about the entire relationship with the person. So the way that I would represent and sell myself would be different. I wouldn't try to say, like being funny. I don't know if being funny is a good trait in leadership all the time. Like, you don't want to just be a joker all the time. You can be funny and witty, that's great. But if you're just funny and there chat all the time, it's just, no one's really going to respect that. If you have accomplished things and you know where you're going and you can achieve things and you have some sort of success you can almost sell to people, then I think they will respect you more. That also means that you, as I said, bring about competition, which means that your friends, it's not like a happy-go-lucky, like fairies and pixies, and you're just all happy laughing together and everything's great. No, you're basically saying, okay, the whole world is random, it's chaotic, it's a battle, it's brutal, the world. You're basically saying, all right, cool, it's brutal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find a band of brothers, and I'm going to make my own little brutal world, but it's going to be restricted to this band of brothers. So you're still going to have the competition of the world, but you're going to have it in this brotherhood. And while you guys are competing against each other, you have each other's backs against the world. So instead of fighting against the world as hard, you can now fight against your brothers a bit more, you know? You're moving the competition. For example, if a brotherhood got big enough, you would dominate the whole world. And the whole time, you probably wouldn't be focused on the fact that you dominate the world. You'd be focusing on the fact that you are trying to compete with the other people in your brotherhood. It's like when you had conquerors conquering countries, right? I would assume that the people who are lower in the hierarchy would, yeah, it'd be great that they're conquering and yeah, we're successful, but the person that benefits the most from the success is the leader. So the people will want that role, that position. So there's always a competition of trying to prove yourself to get to that position, which is great, which is super healthy. I think that's how males were designed. So where I'm going with this is, don't try to please people necessarily. Like, don't provide value and sell yourself and make it clear, this is why I need to be respected. This is why I command respect. I think you need to make it clear to people, because there's a big difference between that and just trying to make someone happy around you and have fun like females and just chat. Okay? I think that's the biggest hurdle for me, is like, it will feel unnatural at first, because as a leader, you're not going to have that kind of childhood connection with people. With a brotherhood, you can have probably an even deeper connection though, but it's not like the value you're providing is different. You don't have to be happy around them all the time. You can be angry at each other and fighting and stuff, but it's different. You have a deeper connection, a deeper pursuit, a deeper binding between each other, you know? There's something binding that whole brotherhood together, that goal, the aspiration. And that's what's so cool, is like, if you're around the right people, you're going to be working, competing against each other, focused. That will be your main focus. Is like, I think it will just naturally happen. Your masculinity will kick itself into gear and think, oh, I need to be better. He's doing that.